He chaired 6 BIS committees for 14 years, published 82 national standards, and served as the chairman of Indian Institute of Packaging for a decade. Today, we sit down for a masterclass with the chairman of FIPS, which is Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability, Dr. NC Saha, to discuss ResPack 2026, the truth about Food Packaging Act 2015, and why most of us don't know the actual difference or the true science of packaging.
So, Dr. Saha, greetings. Thank you very much for doing this. We know that you're extraordinarily busy. Past few months, you've been, I think, keynote addresses at innumerable conferences, forums, etc. In a month or two, we have ResPack. It's this is a little baby that started off a few years ago, thanks to you. It's a 2-day conference, so we can probably dovetail into what to do with that, because it addresses some of this. You do manage to get a bunch of very, very interesting experts from within the industry. Something like 35 odd speakers, about 30 odd brands. So again, if you can just give us a little glimpse of what to expect, what the dates are, and what is going to transpire during ResPack in this edition.
Okay, very good, Ramo. I think this whole thing came up in 2022.
Correct.
There's a Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability. When it was started after my superannuation from Indian Institute of Packaging, as you know, I worked for the Institute for 32 years. Including 10 years, I was the director of IIP. I have mentored almost 15,000 students, and there are no more students. They are all in the very decision-making position in the all leading FMCG company.
And I must again pause you here, because some of them have helped us with these questions that we are going to now interrogate.
Okay, fine. So now these students, they felt that we must do something for the society, and that came into mind after just COVID, and this foundation was established with the help of the bureaucrat, like one of the gentlemen, he is the mentor of this, called R.R. Rashmi, who was the Chief Secretary of Manipur, and he is the mentor, but because I worked with him very closely, I was reporting to the Commerce Ministry, he is a mentor. Then person like Dr. Shibram, who was the director NCL, is a Padma Shri, he has joined with me. So like the 3 Padma Shri has come with this foundation. Our whole idea is that how do you promote the sustainable packaging through education and research.
Correct.
So with that objective, we started working with many institutes, including Terry University. We started a lot of online courses on sustainable packaging. But in 2022, we thought that when the COVID is over, let's go on the larger masses to the people to promote. Make an awareness to the common masses and make an awareness especially to the packaging community.
Got it.
Saying that sustainable is not a fancy word. It should be a seriousness. You need to work. How do you develop an innovative material and which needs to be sustainable?
True.
So in 2022, when we started, only few companies joined, about 15 companies that participated. But over the period of 5 years, now this year we are doing at Hotel Lalit, 1st and 2nd June, the 2 days conference. There are 34 speakers and 30 brand owners, all leading brand owners. Mostly my IIP alumni, my students, somehow I have mentored them. They're all joining.
Nice.
And we have theme area is called optimal design.
Good.
Innovative material and sustainable technology. Again, the whole idea is that how best we can promote the sustainable packaging. These speakers from India as well as from Bulgaria, from Switzerland, from Austria, they're all coming. Everyone will highlight what are the innovation is happening in the packaging towards the sustainable material. That's the whole idea. So that's the way we thought of it this time also, like last 4 years, that how we can promote the sustainable packaging through knowledge, and it's a purely a knowledge platform so that people can interact with all those people. And very happy to announce that Shri Rajit Punhani, who is the very senior government officer, is a bureaucrat. He is at present the CEO of FSSI, the Minister of Health and Family Welfare, the Government of India. He has kindly consented my invitation. He has accepted, and he is coming as a chief guest.
Well done.
And he would be coming probably Dr. Alka Rao, madam, who is an advisor, science standards and regulation, and she would also be coming, and they will address as a keynote speaker. My Dr. Shibram, who is the advisor of this foundation, he is also there.
And also a voice of sanity, in a way.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And plus this time, I have also invited Dr. Ashish Lele, who is the director of National Chemical Laboratory as a CSI lab. He is also going to talk next as a keynote speaker. And then, of course, our partner is the EPIDA secretary is coming. Rakesh Vidya is the director, National Institute of Design, Madhya Pradesh under Commerce Ministry. She is also coming. So it's a combination of, you can say, the bureaucrats, the government official, policymakers, academicians, industry leader, as well as the brand owner.
Got it.
So that's the way everybody is interested. And the term responsible packaging, it was denoted considering that sustainable is a very small word and the small word. Rather, we should say the responsible packaging. All the stakeholders in the value chain are responsible. Everyone is responsible to save the planet. That's the reason in this responsible packaging conference, we have the raw material manufacturer, the converter, the machinery, as well as the user brand owner. Everyone is coming and talking. So the goal is common that we need to have a sustainable packaging to save the planet.
So one very nice thing, sorry, Abhay, is that I think attended all your editions. I've attended all days of all.
Thank you so much.
The thing that sort of strikes me most importantly is inter-industry dialogue, which is I think something that is sort of absent in our industry. But Abhay, you have a question about this formidable lineup of speakers.
So just for our viewers, I mean, of course, you have mentioned that we have a very line of eminent speakers. So say, for example, Mr. Rashmi of Theory, and the CEO of FSSAI. So one question that I have in mind is that what is the strategic message that you are trying to portray through this conference? Say, for example, bringing the climate negotiators, the food safety advisors, all of them under one roof. What is the message that
very good, very good. You see, Mr. Rashmi his expertise on climate change, and that's why he's an independent distinguished fellow at TERI. And with his long journey as a bureaucrat, as a government official, he's now working on carbon credit.
Nice.
So he's going to highlight, talking to the people that please use carbon credit. It's not only the business model, and it's also going to help you to save the planet. And when you talk the regulator, like Mr. Punhani is coming, he is sitting in a Food Safety Standards Authority of India. So when you talk about the food business, there is a whole question comes, how do you think about the safety of food? So that's one part. The safety aspect is going to talk. He's also talk about the nutritious value. They are also going to talk about, nowadays the trend is coming, more and more people, they like the protein food. So which is called the enrichment of the food. How do you make an accreditation under the act, which he is going to give a very holistic approach. And Madam Dr. Alka Rao, when she comes, she since being a national regulator on the food safety, she will be talking about food package compatibility. That's very important, because when you talk about recycled plastics and so on, there are so much chances that some ingredients is going from material to the food. That food needs to be safe. Safe. It should not have any carcinogenic effect to the human cause, no harmful effect basically to the human health. That's the way it's coming. So, and Mr. Sudhanshu, Dr. Sudhanshu from from EPIDA is coming. His expertise on export market. His idea is how do you promote export for the the agri products and all. One side is thinking about the agri products, where he is thinking about how do you make standardized package so that it got uniformity, acceptance by the importing country. At the same time, the importing country is also asking about sustainable material. So if you ask that, all the three people are coming, and Dr. Shibram in between, he is giving another tangent. He is going to talk that we are all talking plastics and this material, that material. What is the science behind that? I think that part he is bringing. So I think all the stalwart speakers are coming. Their objective is one, saying that how do you make a sustainable material to make a sustainable environment? Objective is to save the planet, and also talk about circularity.
Understood. Just a quick follow-up question, Dr. Saha, and this brings me back to a conversation I first had with you maybe 20 years ago, that there is this world of super intelligent people who are working in the scientific laboratories and production factories of packaging, and then there is the general public, which is out there, which is a part of this consumption pattern which packaging is a part of. And I think broadly the thing is that there are those who think that packaging can do anything and everything, and it does do that. And those who are a little, skeptical about the packaging part of it. This message, how do you get it across to those billions of people? You had alluded to China, you alluded to India, massive populations, but still a little circumspect about, what the packaging capabilities are, how to use it. You use certain words, standardization, safety. That message somehow doesn't get communicated to this larger population of almost 3 billion people.
Yeah.
So how do we get this out there?
Well, I believe there was a time about maybe 30 years back, packaging used to be considered as a luxury.
Yeah, true.
People used to think it is a burden. But today, over a period of time, what happened even in country like India, the literacy has gone up.
Yeah.
So people are more concerned about very health conscious. Everybody think that whatever I am buying from the market, the material, which should not have a reaction with the food.
True.
So that's one part. People are more conscious about the health conscious. And the other thing is happening, people are thinking about convenience. The packaging is one media which is really helping the convenience.
Yep.
One, the literacy has gone up, the couples are working, they have no time cooking food at home, and they need a convenience. If something comes, some magic can come, the food is readily available in the shop, and they find, yes, the ready to eat food is available in the market.
Correct.
So they feel it. So one side, people are looking for convenience, at the same time they are health conscious, and they feel that, okay, if the regulator is giving some some limitation, that these are the material, like all the heavy metal contents, you should not be migrated and all, and it is within the permissible limit as per FSSAI or FDA regulation, people are safe that yes, I can consume it. So the message is that people are now thinking that packaging is no more as a luxury, rather it has become an essential, and any product, whether it is a food or pharma or cosmetics, you need to have a packaging, because that's act as a vehicle, that acts as a media, which transfer or which travel from the production center to the shelf and goes to the consumer.
True.
So it has become now, no product can go to the market without a media or without a container. That's a package.
Got it.
Package has become nowadays not a luxury, it has become an essential. It's a very integral part of product and packaging together.
But the responsible packaging, because I mean the theme of the conference, and of course a lot of what your passion is for example, the word composting. What say people like me or my parents do at their home would be something called home composting, and they believe that is good enough. But there's obviously a larger world out there which does industrial composting, then recycling at the level that just sorting out and segregation. They're happy with it, which is great. But the fact that you have mechanical recycling, the fact that so again that knowledge gap and that bridge between us versus them. Again, how do we accelerate this momentum, and more importantly ensure that things reach an equilibrium, which we all hope that packaging. So
I'm happy that you raised this question. You see, the recycling thing, which was started, if I should say, it was started maybe 25 years back, but over the last 10 years, it has been escalated much more. And this because of people have realized one side that yes, the recycling is the only way we can really take back the energy, can be the reduction, and the circularity can go. That's the one way people have starting. And but recycling was there a long time, but that was not a very scientific manner. Now there are two ways to recycling. One is a mechanical recycling, chemical recycling. Chemical recycling is the best method, because the monomer to monomer you are getting. So you are not losing anything. It is as good as a virgin to virgin you are getting.
Correct.
Mechanical recycling, what exactly the government of India has already allowed, as per FSSAI, they have allowed to use the RPAT, which is the recycled PET. The advantage of that, because PET, normally it is available only one grade unless there are some IV value difference.
Correct.
And that's why government thought that yes, the PET can be cleared so that it can go as an RPET, can be used with the virgin material. Subject to condition, it should comply with all the standards, all the test method is given the BIS. Bureau of Indian Standard, eventually I'm also chairing few committees in the Bureau of Indian Standard. We have a standard method on 9845, which is the global migration. The 60 ppm is the your limitation. So within that, if it is coming, there is also FSSAI talks about the BIS. BIS also say that even FSS has mentioned that you have something called specific migration, which is called the heavy metal content. So heavy metal content has given a permissible limit like lead, arsenic, cobalt, antimony, and so on. And that should be so much available on the ppm level. So if the rpet mixing with your virgin material, and if it is compliance with those regulations, then it's fine. That can be used for the human consumption.
True.
But I think the more complex is the polyolefin. And last ResPack, when I was talking to Dr. Shibram, I asked few questions and which I started thinking. I said that polyolefin, because polyolefin is the biggest problem with the collection. rpet was gone because in India, the collection was very established in PET. As a result, a large number of people have entered to this business because the industry, they feel it's a business model. They have entered to that because collection can be good, segregation can be easy because it's a one-time material, and then of course the recycling, the mechanical, they're going. Chemical also good until unless you got a high scale. So if you can do the scaling up, then you can do the monomer.
Right.
So far,
and what is your definition of a big volume for chemical?
Big volume, it should come in a million tons. It's not as small like I make 50,000 or 20. It's not that, because that will not be economically viable. If you really want to make an economical viable on chemical recycling, few people have already started in India. Then it is the best way, because you get monomer to monomer without deteriorating any quality aspect. You get the same material.
Understood.
Mechanical recycling, yes, fine, because the PET you are getting, but unless again you have to comply with the BIS standard, because you have to comply with those numbers. Polyolefin is a big problem. When I was talking to Dr. Shibram, and he invited me to the NCL, National Chemical Laboratory. Thanks to him, now NCL, Dr. Ashish Lele has taken an initiative. NCL is trying to make a consortium. This consortium is only on polyolefin material. I was invited. I am also a part of the consortium. What Dr. Shibram said that polyethylene and polypropylene, these two material comes under polyolefin. Polyethylene has got 150 grades, and the different grades are manufactured by different petrochemical industry. The polymer made by Reliance or HMEL is a different. Polypropylene has got 250 grades. He said when the post-consumer waste are coming, we don't know what kind of grades are mixed up. So you get the material, all polyolefin, when they're mixed up, and it goes to the, the thermal processing in the first reaction when the recycling, what kind of reaction is happening inside, chemical reaction, the organic, inorganic compounds are making, and if you want to come in contact of food, what would happen to the human consumption? So this is a little complex issue. So until unless a very thorough study is done in a chemical study, it's very difficult to say. So NCL has taken an initiative, and I have requested Dr. Ashish Lele to involve FSSI, Bureau of Indian Standard, and SCPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, saying that National Chemical Laboratory being a CSR laboratory, that under the chairmanship of Dr. Shibram you are doing, and that should be a thorough study, come out with a white paper, and that can be submitted to the government. So that gives a very handful information to the policymakers. Prior to take the some decision on the polyolefin. But I tell you, polyolefin, some industry here, they have already done a good job, and they have been working, like company like Lucru is doing, Valiant Nation, they have been doing. They have their own laboratory, they are trying to make it. But till date, they are very successful on the non-food product. Very successful. And most of the FMCG, they have completely switched over to recycle polyethylene for non-food. Non-food. Food, still they are waiting, the clearance from FSSI, but FSSI, it's like a chicken and egg story. That FSSI say, okay, you come out with all the tests, and you have to prove us that yes, there is no harmful effect. They definitely it will come. But recycling, of course, that's the only mechanism by which we can save the energy, and carbon footprint can be reduction, and of course this will ultimately helping to the society, to the environment.
Quick follow-up question, is it sort of doable in terms of bridging this thing in terms of statutory compliances? Because on the one hand you have this web of statutory compliances, and then there's science, and science obviously we are discovering as we go along, playing with materials, playing with polymer structure, etc. So this thing about statutory compliances, and typically what are the 2 or 3, because you're on 6 BIS committees, plus you're interacting with some of the best brains in the fraternity. What are the red flags you think we should address? 2 or 3 red flags which are which we should not be negotiating.
Yes. Now there are few red flags which you have been talking to even to Dr. Shibram in the consortium.
Right.
Till now, BIS, we have been struggling to make one test method to say how do I analyze the percentage of recycled content.
Got it.
Okay.
So that has not yet been published. Lot of draft has come. Whatever the material we are writing on the package, of course, common men, they don't know what we are using, but they are telling 30% PCR RPAT or 20% PCR RPAT, but these are all self-declaration.
Oh, yes.
There is no test method.
True.
That's one of the red flags.
Yeah.
The other red flag which I explained about the degree of recyclability. Okay, you are telling me I am doing a recycle of PET. I'm not touching the polyolefin, the PET. Now 30% RPET, 70% virgin. The first time. Second time, this will go again. So every time I'm adding the virgin versus RPET. The first RPET was 30-70. Second time, I'm again putting 50. Third time, I'm putting. Question comes here. Fine, you have been infusing with the good material or the virgin material. How many times?
True.
3 times, 10 times, 5 times. There are some study, I think in developed country they have done that 3 times or 5 times and all. But that's not a proper scientific study. This needs to be a red flag. According to me, that this is the red flag. What we need a proper guidance, maybe from BIS side or maybe from FSSI, saying that only this much many numbers you can do it. But still the work is going on.
Correct.
Some scientific study is going on. So, but overall, if you ask me, that today recycle industry over the last 10 years, I believe it has become a huge business. It has become a model now. When you talk about raw material polymer, yes, recycling is another stream has come up and many people enter to that. I'm sorry to say some people are thinking anybody can enter to the recycling business. It's not really true.
That's true.
One has to understand the science. One has to understand the polymer. Once you know the detail and you understand the complexity of this material, when it's subject to a thermal processing, what all is happening.
Yes.
And ultimately, non-food is fine. If you talk about the food, you have to be very careful that it is ultimately it is coming to the human consumption.
Correct.
So that's the red flag according to me. These are the two things which have been
Broadly,
discussing. But researcher, the scientists, all are working into that angle. Hopefully, in the few years, we'll come out with a proper method or proper guidance. Then it will be very useful.
Too many silos, no? But unfortunately, everybody working in their own little island.
I agree.
So, which brings us back to ResPack. I think
The ResPack is the only platform.
one of the main forums.
Yes. So I tell you this time, like I am inviting for a recycling. I thought that I'll not invite the Indian people. Indian people means Indian industry.
Right.
So I'm trying to call a company called Coperion.
Oh, yes.
Coperion from Germany, they are coming. I'm calling Sesotec. They make all the sorting machines. So I thought that let these outside people comes and talk here that yes, what they are doing in Europe. But which we are, whether something we can learn, because ResPack being a knowledge platform, we want to try to the new technology to come. For example, tube packaging. There is an exclusive session on tube packaging on the day 1, because the day 1 is a food and beverage.
Yes.
And day 2 is healthcare, personal care and cosmetics, the beauty care one would say. So the largest company in tube packaging is EPL, SL. So I made their CEO and I requested them, Ramaswamy probably he will be coming to chairing the session. Hariharan is the president, creativity, he has accepted, he will be the speaker. So what I requested to Hariharan, don't speak about personal care. You are very popular in Colgate, but let's talk about food. Because I had a patent from Indian Institute of Packaging, which is called Null and Good, which is called liquid jaggery.
Correct.
And I think you took an interview in 2015. And this came from West Bengal government, the Khadi Gramodyog, and Indian Institute of Packaging and Khadi Gramodyog, we did it. Collaborative, we did a patent for that. In 2015, we got the number also, patent number in Indian patent, where the date palm jaggery, which is a 5-hour shelf life, which is increased to 7 months.
Phenomenal.
And packaging magic, we imagine in West Bengal and Bihar, that side, during winter from this November to February, they sell the liquid jaggery, date palm jaggery
Yes.
at the price of 150 rupees.
Got it.
And when you pack it in a tube, 100 ml,
Yeah.
the Amazon is selling 90 rupees.
Yeah.
So it's 900 rupees per liter. That's the kind of business model
Matrix,
what they're
yeah.
doing. So I requested Hariharan to cover the tube in packaging, food packaging. So they have done an enormous work
Yes.
for something they have done for honey, they have done for ginger paste, they have done for other spices, the paste products. So he was going to cover. I also invited two speakers, one from PSG, which is called Pack System Global,
course, yeah.
who make the tube making machine.
Yeah.
He is coming from abroad. I think he is mainly from the Switzerland. He is
Yeah.
coming. He
Yeah.
is going to talk. One gentleman is coming from Mechatronica. He makes a tube, a machine, which is a foam filled seal
Yeah.
on a tube.
Wow.
Yes.
He is coming as a new technology. He is coming from Bulgaria. So idea in the ResPack, bring the new knowledge, new information for the public.
Yeah.
Maybe few people know, but for the larger audience,
Yeah.
they should talk, they should interact with them. And since all people are in one platform,
Yeah.
let's clarify your all doubts with this. All the big stalwarts,
Yeah.
the scientists are here.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and also with your broad knowledge of packaging science and material innovation. So what we see is that FIPSA Awards, which is another vertical along
Yeah,
with this
yeah.
fact, FIPSA Awards will also evaluate criteria such as weight reduction, tamper proofing, and elimination of layers.
Yeah.
So of course, with your packaging lens, when does the material innovation cross the line from being just novel to being actually sustainable? So
Okay. Good question. See, the FIPSA award, it cropped up over 3 years back. And the director, National Institute of Design, which is under Minister of Commerce,
Yes.
they join hands with us and they say that in the NIDs, the course curriculum, they teach about only the design.
Yeah.
But as per the NEP, the new education policy 20 by the government of India, they want their drivers. So they thought the package design should be included.
Yeah.
So I had a meeting in their committee and I gave some suggestion and all. So that has cropped up. They say that why not we start a design for package design? And very interestingly, Ramu, yesterday I got 2 student entry. Fantastic. It's
Yeah.
all NID student has given an
Nice.
entry.
Wow.
And the student's entry is a different way. They have analyzed one packet. It's a spice packet, and they analyze, conceptualize, ideation, and finally come the
Nice.
outcome. What they say that the spice packet is good, but very difficult to open up. So the girl has given step by step. How do I make it as a convenience? That goes. The FIPSA goes to the student level also
True.
to have a ideation and all. Now your question is that when we said that the one side we are talking about the innovative material,
Yes.
on the other side we need the sustainability. Yes, it's true, because the entries what we are receiving now, we are expecting something like 170 entries are already
Nice,
reached.
nice.
Another 1 week to go, hopefully 200 plus entry would come. And everybody is giving the entries. And this time, what we discussed with NID, that since it's called Responsible Packaging Award, that short form of FIPSA is called Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability Award, called
Yeah.
FIPSA. But actually, it's called Responsible Packaging Award. There we have a 3 broad category. One is design, one is innovative material, and there's a sustainability. But there are 12 subcategories.
Okay.
All the materials are covered. So you start with the material like cellulose material, like paper, corrugated box, duplex board,
Yep,
even
yep.
cellophane.
Nice.
Then you come natural material because jute is used in
Correct.
food grade.
Yeah, of course.
Cloth is used for seats. Then you got plastic film,
Yep,
rigid
yep,
film,
yep.
tube packaging, biopolymer, and also package printing.
Of course.
All kind of printing like rotogravure, you have a flexo printing, you have a digital printing, you have
Yeah.
offset printing.
Yep.
So that's the way people are coming. And the whole objective of this FIPSA award, we have a criteria that if anyone is submitting an entry, if the package is still in your factory level or in the lab scale, you can't apply.
It has to be
It
commercially.
has to be commercialized.
Nice.
It has to be commercial. Of course, last 3 years minimum, it should be commercialized.
Makes sense.
So this award is nothing but trying to recognize you that yes, it's a package which is already accepted in the market, but like FIPS and NID is a government body, we are trying to recognize you. It's a very good.
Yeah, and also set some standards, right?
yeah.
Some benchmarks.
Some
Yeah.
benchmarks, so that people will understand that yes. Now, when they are giving go back to your question that innovations is coming. So to make an innovation, maybe they increase the number of layer, but we want the weight reduction and all. I think the jury, including Ramu, I've invited you a part of jury.
Thank you.
I think jury will go to talk more about what is the sustainable innovation. That will be the part of that. And the FIPSA, the beauty is all the juries, none of from the industry. They are all the faculty,
no bias,
all unbiased, because the faculty is from IDC Industrial Design Center of IIT Mumbai, faculty from National Institute of Design, faculty from BITS Pilani School of Design, the JJ Art College, and then Ramu is from editor. So these the kind of people who are already on the subject knowledge. They understand what is sustainable design. So your question is that how they will balance it. I think jury will, more importantly, they go by sustainable innovation. That will get the winning. That's the way we are thinking.
Makes sense. The other thing, just a follow-up to Abhay's question, is this is of course what you do with the product and the product design, but you also celebrate people who have contributed to the industry. And in the past 2 editions, at least, some very, very interesting industry icons. So again, just curious to know how you select these individuals, because obviously it is body of work, what they've done in terms of their own organizations, plus of course their outreach in terms of setting some kind of norms for our industry.
Okay, I am very happy to say that what the feedback has come and which we have put to our website also.
Right.
People, the comment has come, they say the ResPack versus any packaging conference, the USP is the content. And the content, which I set the content based on the feedback from the industry, and of course based on my last 38 years experience in the packaging. And you will be very happy to note this is the 5th edition. The last 4 editions, none of the topics are repeated. It's a new topic. Speaker may come, maybe 30% overlapping speakers, 70% new speakers are coming, new companies are coming. There are many companies are new this time who has never come. For example, Ajanta Print, who makes in mold. He has come first time. So like this, Coperion has never come. They are coming. Sesotec has never come. They are coming. So PSG has never come. Mechatronic has never come. So they are all coming. And another important is this, as I said, that responsible packaging, everybody is associated. We have a 5 panel discussion. We have highlighted one of the areas of focus issue called metal packaging. I'm very happy I had a meeting with Jindal Steel Works and the Tata Tin Plate, Tata Steel, the tin plate company. And both are a part of this as a partner, they are coming. So there, we are having a 2 session. One session is called metal packaging, or not packaging. They are talking the metal container, a green packaging media. So there we have a 3 session. One we are talking the tin plate. One we are talking 2-piece can for fish can. We are talking 3-piece can for the food product or any other product. That's one session. The second session, we have a panel discussion on a metal packaging, a green media, what is the brand owner. So we are calling Nestle, we are calling Britannia, we are calling Danone India, the dairy products, we are calling Cargill. So like all the brands are coming, they are going to talk that metal is one of the sustainable material. What are the limitations as compared to the plastic? They are going to discuss. We also have a session on the food, responsible packaging for food. All the leading company coming like ITC Food, Tata Consumer, Hindustan Unilever, Mother Dairy, Imami, Marico, all are coming. We have a beverage session where all the top line like Bisleri, Pepsi, Coke, you have alcoholic beverages, DIGU, you have Pernod Ricard. So like that, there are 5 sessions and there are 30 leading brands are coming. They are going to talk what they're doing in their company and what is required. And this will be some kind of, all the moderators, they are coming on neutral people, they will be triggering the question. Yes, what is your problem and what is the solution? Don't put the blame on the converter. What is your viewpoint? You cannot demand something from the converter which is unrealistic.
True. Understood.
So that's the way we are thinking.
You have curated. One interesting thing, because you mentioned metal, is I remember there was a very good presentation by the team from Jindal, which was about edible, oil can recycling. And the way they've rolled it out as a social program. And of course, Tata has also been doing it. I'm also curious to know what is happening with containers, metal containers.
I think,
and I know you have done some.
I think I have invited, this time I have invited the president ITMA. ITMA is called called Indian Tin Plate Manufacturer Association. The chairman, they say chairman is Ashwini Sharma, who is the senior executive vice president of Tin Plate. He's going to talk, and that was his brainchild, that 15-liter tin can, which have been rotating and all, though BIS, because I'm chairing that metal packaging standard, we say that you cannot reuse it. But you know, many people, they are taking the can and just changing the top and then putting again the material. But the Jindal Steel Works, they have taken a view that they are collecting back and giving some revenue, giving some incentives and all. That was a very good initiative they are doing. And I'm sure that they will carry forward. And that would help that, again, talking about the health safety. This comes the safety, so that you cannot use any spurious material, or I should say adulterated edible oil to the people. That's the way we are thinking.
True. And also packaging cannot only be for the top 10% of the population of the, it has to be common mass. And the more you involve people, you have some questions about frugal, right?
So I think the NID influence that you were alluding to previously. So FIPSA trophies are custom designed by NID and Dr. Rakesh. So she is the key voice in the dialogue. So how is this partnership helping the Indian manufacturers move beyond frugal innovation but towards world-class design?
I think as I said that NID has taken initiative and joined hands with us. They have signed MOU for the next 5 years. And Madam wants that we should promote the responsible design. That's why we say the optimal design. And she believes that whatever we are doing in packaging, design plays a big role. And design in many ways. Even today we are talking MLP as a 3-layer or 4-layer or 6-layer structure like Tetra Pak, which is called composite structure. Design becomes any important. How do you do a structural design? Design, it does not mean only graphics and printing. True. It talks the structural design. I think packaging, the biggest challenge today for all the packaging technologists or the professional, how do you make a design? And design should be in such a manner that you don't compromise with the functional properties. At the same time, you are compliant to the environmental regulation.
Got it.
So that's why they joined hands and they said, let's understand even our student, who are the design student. Once they pass out at the BDS, bachelor degree or masters from NID, they're going to work with all these FMCG outer design, superficial. You have to understand more on material science.
Got it.
Unless you go in depth about the science, material science, you can't do the design.
Just a quick follow-up. I mean, we've been listening to you for, now the past few minutes. And so I want to know, I'm putting you on the spotlight and slightly uncomfortable question, but what is responsible packaging design according to Dr. Saha? Because I've picked up structure, I've picked up barrier, I've picked up circularity, I've picked up transparency, I've picked up sealing, I've picked up chemistry, I've picked up physics, and I've picked up science plus printing. So all these things are there. So according to you, what would it be?
Good question. I think the moment I said responsible, the word, it is the responsibility lies with every stakeholder in the value chain.
Okay.
Now, if I want to really make a responsible material structure, I need the design, I need the innovation, I need the sustainable technology. And every segment, their own way, they're trying to make a sustainable material. For example, you are from printing, I'm talking, people are going away from the solvent way, they're going the solvent-less. So they are trying, this is the one way. The polymer people, they're developing the new polymeric material which can be easily to recycle, and everything, of course, single layer can be recycled, but they're trying to make some kind of copolymer, which can be, someone is making a coating material, that how best it can be really, meet the requirement as a functional properties.
Got it.
So each segment, people are working on their own way, but ultimately they feel that I am responsible. I am responsible in each area. If someone say that I am a polymer man or I am a paper man, I don't know the other thing. It's not that. It's a collective effort. And interesting part is why the brand owner I brought them. Because there was a time when it comes to pyramid from top to bottom, the manufacturer or the raw material they say, and whatever the bottom line is, the landowner has to has to understand.
Correct.
Today is an opposite. Today brand owner is in the top. They only say that, they only demand that this is required.
Yeah.
True.
This is required for the country, this is required for society, required for environment, and also in compliance with, and the environmental regulation. They demand, it goes to the converter, and converter, they goes back and they say that, okay, I have to develop, the raw material people, they say, I need to develop a responsible material.
Got it.
So until unless all the three people, and of course the machine, because he has to be a machine ability,
Yes.
is a big part. So all the four of them, unless until they come together and they say, yes, you have done 10%, I have done 20%, 30%, ultimately 100%, we reach the goal. And interestingly, today, brand owner, they are not working on a silos. My students, all are IITian who have been pass out. They are very proactive and they have been working very closely with the industry. Very interestingly, I think in India, one of the company has taken the Lucru.
Oh, yes.
I think Hindustan Unilever, first time I could hear about some 14% stake of a recycling industry. It's a very good step in terms of recycling because Unilever, Hindustan Unilever, I remember when I was invited by the earlier managing director, Rohit Jawa, he called me in a conference in Delhi, that Meridian Hotel, and he was talking about what is the roadmap of Hindustan Unilever the next 10 years out of 30-30. So accordingly, they are planning work on that. That goes that today the brand owners are very serious.
Yeah.
They're very serious about the environment. They're very serious about the consumer. But they know we can't work alone, so not in a silo. So they're working very closely with the recycler. They're very closely working, the printing people, everyone. So that is maybe the one of the step, like Unilever and Lucru has joined as a joint venture. That's a very good step.
Absolutely.
More and more, I think recycler is trying to have a pitch into the brand owner, and that's the way it becomes a very cohesive relationship to be built up.
True.
It's not in silos kind of
anymore.
work.
Nice. Because we observed this in Rajkot, Balaji. What they're doing. I mean, Unilever, of course, is a very big brand, obviously they have deep pockets. But even an organization like Balaji doing the kind of work that they do, both in production and both in terms of outreach. But again, you have some questions about
so
materials.
Again on the material front, since we were talking about materials, recently we saw an interesting report published by Ellen MacArthur Foundation. It talked about paper-based flexible alternatives for plastics, for plastic packaging. Again, that report, of course, mentions that this shift doesn't happen overnight and it takes a lot of efforts. So, ResPack, again, leans heavily on materials such as cellulose-based materials, biopolymers, recycled plastics. So, if this shift were to happen to paper-based materials, so is it based on is it actually a scientific solution, or is it just a response to the consumer pressure that the companies are getting?
To some extent, consumer pressure, to some extent, environmental compliance. But if I talk about the science, let me explain. Paper is a cellulosic material. They are hygroscopic. They are porous. If you want to have a salad packaging and not for longer duration. Now the question comes, the basic point, what is package? Package is an hermetically sealed container.
True.
So the carry bag is not a package according to me, because it just carry the product from one place to another place for a short duration.
Got it.
But you want to put something in a container which stays on the shelf for longer time, maybe 7 days, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, whatever the life you want. So you need a hermetically sealed product. Interestingly, if you talk about fresh food and you talk about the processed food, these two works in a different way. The fresh food recently, because I'm also associated with the APIDA, Agricultural Processed Food, the Export Development Authority. I was discussing by the chairman APIDA saying that India cannot export a product called fresh lychee. The lychee is grown in Muzaffarpur in a Sahi variety. And during the season, it's sold about 180 to 200 rupees kilo. And this same product, because of your foreign exchange, it's sold in UAE market about 800 rupees. So it's so much interesting, and we are unable to export. So he asked me, this is a special project. So I joined, associated with them to do a study. And this study was carried out based on a technology which is called active modified atmosphere packaging.
Oh, yes.
This is a technique which was developed by, is a patented technology from the Dutch and from Netherlands, a company. But this is a collaboration with UFLAX. So they took the project. So I had a discussion with the Chaturvedi Saab that how to do it. And he said definitely he is always a forefront, that he has to do the research and all. So I utilized their laboratory and we did the study. And what the UFLEX does, the technology I'm trying to tell to the audience benefit, this company has developed a machine. This is called breathometer.
Okay.
It analyzes the breathing percentage or breathing rate, I should say. So different fresh fruits or vegetable has got a different breathing rate. But it depends many factors. It depends on the variety, depends on the soil condition.
Of course.
Like human, as you go older and older, your breathing rate is different as compared to the kid or the adolescent.
Definitely.
So this analyze the breathing rate. This system also computerized, it talks that what is the permeability is required for the plastic film. So it also says the per square centimeter how many perforation is required, which we say the laser micro perforation. UFLEX has got that facility.
Okay.
They have made that micro perforated film, which is called breathing film. And when you put that film and pack it, seal it on the fruits, fresh fruits, the only limitation is that it needs a low temperature, 5 degrees centigrade. So you need a cold chain on that because the 5 degrees centigrade. Then what is happening when the lychee or any fresh produce, they start respiring, they release carbon dioxide and water, what we understand that from glucose broke down, and that makes a carbonic acid. So unless the gases goes out, it accelerates the ripening process, the product gets spoiled. Breathing film, it's a compostable material base. As a result, one side is that it has got a lot of micro perforation. It does not allow to retain any gas molecule inside. It goes out. As a result, the life goes up. So the 3-day shelf life today, the Sahi variety, when I did the study, it increased to 14 days.
Wow.
And that's what repeat of first success, I think our Honorable Commerce Minister has tweeted for that. And Piyush Goyalji, he has tweeted that the first time India could export the fresh lychee to Qatar. And we did a consignment has gone there. This is one side. Come to the processed food is completely different. They don't need nothing out. They need a cover. Because processed food needs a barrier. They need a moisture barrier. They need a gas barrier. They need a what is it called, light barrier and so on. Depending on the product. If I say the processed food I was teaching to my student, start from A to Z. Aerated drink, bakery product, confectionery, so on. Keep on writing. Every product you are consuming.
Right.
Different product has different critical nature, different points. Every product cannot be spoiled at the same time. That's why I always tell to the classes, food product, you ask some question to the product, who are you? Product will say, I am so and so.
Nice.
Second question say, how are you? Product will say, this is the way I get spoiled. For example, bread and biscuit made from wheat flour. Bread has got 37% moisture because you need a soft crumb. Biscuit has got 2% moisture, needs a crispiness. If you ask the question to both, biscuit will say, don't put me outside, I'll pick up because environment. Bread will say, no, I'll lose. I'll become hard, you don't like me. So as a result, I'm giving an example. Every product is a different critical factor. But ultimately what you're looking for, we need a material which can have a barrier.
True.
It does not have a perforation, the barrier. So the two things are completely different. And that's the way one has to design what material I should do. But one plus point is that it all depends. The third question is, where do you stay? That means where the product will be sold. Is it a coastal? It is a temperature what? Last question is, how long? What is the life you are expecting? I am a small MSME industry. I want to sell only in Mumbai city. Don't go very sophisticated packaging. Unnecessary cost.
Don't over-engineer.
Don't over-engineer and all. But if you go for a longer, Across the country, your packaging will be different. You go for export, you go further. See, these 4 questions: who are you, how are you, where do you stand, how long? I think that's the way one is to understand that.
Very nice.
Decide.
But what happens,
packaging.
Dr. Saha, when you have 2 products from your A to Z, say you have baking and you have ice cream, and they come together, and
that's
then
very, very difficult, because in that, when you have a bakery product, which is a baking technology,
Correct.
and you have an ice cream, which is a freezing technology.
Correct.
But nowadays, you get the biscuit, which has one
Sandwich.
layer is cream is coming. So you have no other option. Again, you have to maintain a cold chain. That's why you find in airport or any other place, they put a rack which is maintain the temperature. So, see, packaging can't do a magic, as I said that.
Correct.
But yes, the technology is evolving, and you can come out with a different structure, but it all relates to the storage condition, but the more important is the logistic supply chain. That's very important. That DG, one of the study what I just completed last year, and we could export from APIDA, we could did it. And we also did another study from passion fruit. And I was really surprised when I did the same technology on the breathometer, the liberation of water content as compared to lychee, it was 10 times more. So my technology, which was the breathing film technology, for passion fruit, it is failed. I could not do. So then I have to think of it, what to do. So we took a material where I have to put some moisture absorber inside the film, and which is called smart packaging. So it is called active packaging. We have done it. So that way, I think the shelf life of passion fruit increased from 7 days to something like 18 days. So it's possible, but one is to understand the science, the technology, matchmaking, and then really it will come out some solution.
Also, I think 2 things. One is no one size fits all, number 1. And I think somewhere we also need to put more of our failures out there. That these 100 failures have happened, and why. I mean, scientifically, because we celebrate successes, which is great, but failures, so that we don't keep repeating the same mistakes again and again. So BIS, you have a few questions.
Oh, yes, definitely. So again, moving on to the next section of this talk. Again, you have chaired 6 committees for 14 years under BIS, and you have published 82 national standards. Wow. So if you had to pick one standard that saved the Indian consumer or the packaging industry, which one would you pick?
Well, I think when I was the director in the Institute of Packaging, I started, but prior to that, as a professor also, I became first chairman a committee called Textile Committee, TX23. I became the chairman, and that deals with all the raffia like oven sack material. And that time, the standard what was there earlier, you have a PP oven sack, HDP oven sack, which goes for different food product, fertilizer, sand, and so on. One of the standard which is very important related to the food grain, and the huge consumption of that material by the Food Corporation of India. But the standard was not a mandatory. Why it is mandatory? In the market, the oven sack manufacturer, they do use lot of filler. Calcium carbonate, they use lot of. Now, as a result, when it comes in the sunlight and you throw the bag, it gets disintegrated before the ultraviolet light. So these people, they do also use UV stabilizer. Now, how do you analyze in the lab? You can analyze based on the ash content. What I did, which is helpful now for the society, in the meeting, it was very difficult for me to make a benchmark, but we say that you are making a fabric, which is made from oven fabric, and you are using definitely the UV stabilizer. If you have a UV stabilizer, naturally degradation will be less, so ash content should be 2%. If you are not using, then I will allow it up to 6%. And this not based on that. It was a lot of study was done at an Institute of Packaging laboratory, taking almost 100 samples view, and based on that we come to a conclusion that 2% and 6% should be the benchmark, and that should go for the material. Then immediately this standard has gone. That standard was, I think, 16052, which is called food grain raffia material. BIS has made it mandatory, and now any food grain packaging by the textile material, you have to use the standard, and you have to follow 2 and 6. Subsequently, in the meeting, I remember somebody says now it's not food grain, it is sugar. Someone says it is fertilizer. So what will be the fabric structure? So I was smiling. I said, look, this is the fabric. Now I can make coat, I can make shirt, whatever.
Right.
So fabric quality or fabric spec should not change. They should remain 2 and 6, and everyone overwhelming, the committee they agreed. And now across the product base, the same fabric, the standard is 2% ash for with UV, 6% without UV.
Nice.
That is become standardized, whether it is a food grain or a sugar or a fertilizer or a sand. There are some registries came from the cement companies. Their argument was that for cement there should be leverage, because what I understand the ash content in some bag it was coming 20%, 25%. I said if you leave it on the outside, it will just get disintegrated.
Correct.
So let's talk about the same standard for the country. And now cement bag is also become mandatory.
Understood.
So all are 2 and 6. So that is, I believe, it has gone a very big impact to the society. They are getting a standardized bag for irrespective to the product. This is one of the success story what I understand. The other thing in 2015, I remember there's another committee I was chairman of, PCD 21, which is a plastic packaging.
All right.
There's a standard called IS 14625. It is related to the feeding bottle.
Yes.
Feeding bottle used to be manufactured from a polymer which is called polycarbonate. There are so many research study came and they said polycarbonate has got BPA content, bisphenol A.
Yeah.
And the studies say that if the bottle has got BPA and when the mother is using hot milk, cleaning and rinsing and then put a hot milk, it will percolate the BPA and it will have the newborn baby, the female baby has a genetical disorder. Because of BPA. So this study came. So this was a lot of discussion in 2015 when I was the director in IIP. We had a lot of discussion with the BIS committee, and then we called all that. And very interestingly, that's a mandatory standard, 14625. So we had a license holder, about 32 license holders. We called all of them, and there a lot of discussion. They had some resistance because they need to invest. CapEx is little more, but we have to think about the health. We have to think about the public, and then we took a call that, okay, we are giving 3 months time as a cushion for you, and please check your baby feeding bottle, whatever you are manufacturing from PCA, I mean the PC. If it is coming something like 3 ppb level, because there are some standard in Taiwan, some standard they are allowed. I said we can think of it. If not, then it's a really danger for the country like India.
Yes.
The other issue was that time, I remember our 28 countries has banned PC for feeding bottle. They are going for PP, other material. So we said that after 3 months, if we find a 28 become 28, remain 28, no issue. But if it remains 29, then it's a big for us. What has happened? 3 months has gone, nobody has come up. And after 6 months, when he took the meeting, 35 countries banned. So it was a big risk for the country like India.
Of course.
So BIS, we took a call saying that the feeding bottle 14625, it will be converted into not polycarbonate, it will be polypropylene.
Okay.
So the converter, they say in PC you have a 85% transparency. I said bring down the transparency level 70% for PP, but still your material should be safe to the kids. That's the way. This is one of the important standard that goes to the market, and I think this is a success story.
Yes, so Dr. Saha, 2015, the year you mentioned, which brings us to the Food Packaging Act 2015. And since being an integral part of it, if you can share the backstory of it and how did this specific regulatory framework, how does this redefine the liability of, say, packaging service providers or packaging converters versus the brand owners?
Excellent. I really feel happy to share the thought process, what's happening. You see, I was in the FSSI committee called Labeling Committee. So when I was regularly attending the meeting at FSSI in the capacity of director in the Institute of Packaging, and FSSI Act, which came in 2009, which is nothing but the amalgamation of all the regulation like food product order, PFA and so on, all came together. So there are different chapter on the different food products, like dairy product, fruits and vegetables and all. And since my subject is packaging, I was interested in the last part.
Yeah.
The last clause is packaging. So everywhere it has written one line, food grade plastics. So it just started curiosity for me, and I mentioned in many committees that we are only talking food grade plastics. Now what is food grade?
Yeah.
True. One is to understand. So food grade plastics means when you talk a packed food, it is not food, it is also the package. So there may be something which is called product package compatibility or rather interaction. So when you keep the product inside a container and keep it in a certain environmental condition, whatever condition, so something may come from material to product, something may go from product to material through. For example, I give an example, classic example is the edible oil. You might have observed that there are a plastic bottle. If you touch the bottle, there is a stickiness.
Correct.
That means some oil has come out outside. So that shows it is not only material to product, that a product to material also comes.
Yeah.
So it is the both way. So that's why when you talk about food grade packaging material or food grade plastics or food grade material, let's say, the compatibility study, it is not only the material study, it is the product study. And the best part is you have to go for shelf life study. So when I studied in CFTRI Mysore, we did a lot of study called shelf life study. And subsequently, when I was in School of Packaging at Michigan State University, they also study about the shelf life study. And even in US University, Michigan is a very famous university. They also do the shelf life study the same way what the CFTRI is doing. It's called product package compatibility. So these 3 years I was in the MIG committee and all. Fortunately, in the 2015, the CEO who came and he talked to me over phone, and he said that I have a very basic question over phone he's asking me. He said, Dr. Saha, you are the expert. Now you tell me carry bag. Now the carry bag in India, it is very peculiar. It may be different color. It can be blue, it can be green, it could be black. And in India, the human behavior is different. They use the carry bag even for hot tea.
Correct.
They use for paneer, chicken and so on. You give me one answer, one line answer or one word answer. Is it safe for human consumption? Yes or no?
Bapre.
And I was over phone and I know he's as a secretary level.
Right.
So I said, sir, I'm in Minister of Commerce. He said, I know, your boss is my batchmate. I said, oh. So I said, I know Rashmi sir with him. So I said, sir, I can tell you only one thing scientifically. The carry bag is not a package. He said, then it is what? I said, package means, as per packaging encyclopedia, the package means it should be hermetically sealed container. But this is a container which has to carry the product for a short duration from one place to another place. So that way it is not there. He said, okay, I agree with you. But tell me, is it safe or not? I said, if you honestly ask me, it's not safe because it may be something may be leaching out. But again, leaching does not happen automatically. It needs a particular condition.
Right.
And because otherwise people will say that PET bottle, when they're drinking water on the roadside, you find they are all stacking. Some people ask me also this question that they are exposed to the sunlight. So something leaching from the bottle to the water. But it does not happen. The reason is, if you look at about the sunlight, the light intensity, for a short duration is very high and then it's cooled down. So, but for a continuous leaching effect, you need a particular temperature and a particular duration. So that's called the migration. That's required. So then of course he invited me. Then they said that, okay, when I went there, immediately he started taking photograph and he said, now the director in Institute of Packaging is sitting and I'll form a committee right away. A committee called Food Packaging Committee.
Nice. And
he called other stakeholders, my Commerce Ministry, CII, FICCI and so on. The idea was that the packaging material, what we are taking, that food grade material, how do we assess it? So after a lot of study, what I understand that there are something, when we make the processing of the plastics, we use a lot of additives, stabilizer, pigments, if it is a colored, and it's a chances of it may percolate or it may say leaching to the product. And that product may become harmful to the human consumption. So after all the desk research, we realized there are two important tests. One of the tests called global migration.
Correct.
It's a migrating. Now, global migration is anything you've used inside, everything should come out. So that is called migration. So that FDA has also given a permissible limit 60 ppm. That is 60 milligram per liter or per kilo.
Okay.
So that is one test. The other test was called specific migration, which is heavy metal content.
Got it.
So initially it was only 5 element. Now it has gone to 8 element. Today it is 9 element. So it's also based on the research, it's increasing. So it becomes, at that time it was a 6 element. So 6 element, how to analyze the heavy metal content? There is a very sophisticated machine called ICP-OES.
Yeah.
So inductive electropole plasma, optical spectroscopy, we can do that in a ppm and a percentage level. So these two study has to be done. So when I had a meeting with FSSI, we have decided they will draw around 3,500 samples from the market.
Nice.
And I said the material I need empty. I don't need packed. The moment you say packed, it was already in contact. Prior to contact I need. For example, if I go to drinking water like Bisleri, I'm giving example, the bottles are going for filling of water. Before going to the filling line, I have to draw the bottle.
Got it.
So I want to see the empty bottle, what is the global migration and the specific migration value.
Understood.
That's the way we have to do it. The issue came up, the big challenge for the Indian Institute of Packaging, that if I really write from the institute, industry may not give us the sample. So, but FSSI took a very good initiative. They say, okay, we'll write to all the Chief Secretary of State, every state, then we have given that how the sampling should be done. It was a 3-partite sample, like FSSI, the food inspector of the particular state, the industry who is giving us sample, and IIP official. Two together signing and samples we are drawing. We drawn about something like the project was the 3,500 samples to be drawn. We drawn about across the country about 500 samples. And we did the analysis. Global migration 100% pass. Then specific migration only 1 fail, 499 pass. And he was inviting us to come for a review, and when we going for review, I give this data.
Right.
He was furious. He said, "No, हमारी country इतना नहीं सुधर पाया. I am sure इतना नहीं हुआ, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. Maybe your method is wrong or something, or test method something."
Right.
And in between, what has happened before taking the project, there was a parliament question. And that has accelerated the whole how to do it faster.
Right.
The parliament question was that 70% processed food packed in plastics. And plastic is carcinogenic.
Correct.
And what the government has taken an initiative and so on. And this was really matching with our already FSS has taken that initiative. Then we understood when I was coming back from Delhi, I was thinking that where has gone the mistake? And 3,500 samples to draw, it was a big, massive task. Where to draw, where from draw. So we first asked the license holder, how many license holder in FSSI? 1,26,000 license holder.
Wow.
So how to do the sampling? So my team has done the sampling. We have reduced to not all the states, only 14 states,
Okay.
who has got the maximum number of license of FSSI. But very interestingly, few states are dominating in some product. For example, you go to Goa, it is only that
Kaju Feni.
that feni.
Yeah.
If you go to Assam, it's a tea. If you go to Karnataka, it's alcohol. So like that, distributed. So
Interesting.
accordingly, we identified 14 states, and from 14 states, we draw the sample. We drawn 500 samples, all are passing. It was a big problem for me what to do. Then we do another 500 samples. So this time also, hardly 10 fails, global all pass. 1,000 sample. I said, I have to really think of it. We did a lot of brainstorming. Then we realized what we have done. We are drawing the samples from the reputed brands.
Of course.
We have not touched to the other people who are not reputed, maybe second line, third line. And FSSI, they are also for FSSI license.
Correct.
So we said, okay, the third say samples to be drawn from the second line or third line industry, not from brand. I mean, they're not the big brand.
Yeah.
You won't believe, next 500 samples, out of that, 10% pass, 90% fail. 90% fail in the specific migration. Everywhere, you know that lead, arsenic, cobalt, and all are failing. That has given a big thing. Then we continued it, and then we came to a conclusion that there has to be a food packaging act as a part of FSSAI Act packaging. It was not there. And then all this notification, it went to Parliament. But finally, I think 1st July 2019, it came as a gazette. Now that becomes a part of the FSSAI Act, and now FSSAI is following that. If you are a food product, now all notification has come the same way. Accordingly, I was chairing BIS PCD 21, the food packaging. And there are almost 30 standards related to food. Blow molded, ghee, go molded, all this. Everywhere we have made an amendment. Everywhere the amendment, I have to sign the amendments. Everywhere, because following the FSSAI regulation. So now the present regulation on the packaging, you say the food grade packaging material needs to be compliance to the global migration and as well as compliance to the specific migration. Same thing is even mentioned for RPAT.
Of course.
If it's a recycle, also you need to follow these two standards, to test. But it has to compliance. And you know, FSSAI is also upgrading the standard, like initially it was 6 element, then it became 8 element, and now it has become 9 element. Even the phthalate is added. So maybe time will come, because based on the research is coming, we are also upgrading our standards. Objective is very clear, should be provide the safety to the human health. That's the whole thing.
Correct. I have a follow-up question, Dr. Saha, and this is again based on one of your keynote speakers last year at ResPack, Dr. Shivaram, and he made a very, very interesting point. I mean, he did that wonderful presentation and he spoke that India lacks data-driven plastic material, and precisely, I mean, what you're saying right now seems to, in a way, you know, spotlight that concern. So two things, how do we crack this detailed analysis of real-time data? Because obviously it's a problem. I mean, you have all these wonderful people, you know, with expertise sitting in these committees, but in the absence of this real-time data, no proper analysis, and then of course the whole plastic waste management issue then is never addressed correctly. So is there a, based on, you know, your work in these committees?
Yes, I think I just mentioned a few minutes back. That NCL has taken an initiative
with the consortium.
I think this consortium will help us because this consortium, NCL is invited the raw material manufacturer, like all the leading petrochemical industry. They call the converter, they call the recycler, they contact the brand owner. And people like us, we are giving our inputs at the angle of packaging. And NCL, because of CSI lab, they got all the analysis. So they would be doing chemistry. They'll be doing all chemical analysis of the material, like 5% PCR, 10% PCR, rest is virgin. What is their chemical composition is changing. We are not talking functionally. First, we are talking about the chemical compounds, and then each and every compounds will be analyzed and see that how it will be an impact in terms of food safety, human health. I think those data would definitely help us on the consortium data. That, as you question that data, what Dr. Shivram said correctly, we have a
deficit,
deficiency. And that would help us. Consortium would help us.
Got it.
So what is interesting to us is the evolution and the transition that you have seen in particular in terms of regulations and standards. Say, for example, from 2009 to 2018. So my question is, how has our approach in terms of migration limits and food grade quality evolved since the 2015?
Okay, as I said that 2015 FSSAI regulation was only 6 element, but the world is studying on this subject. They have gone to 8 element. Now it is 9 element. So that the evolution is going. The time is coming. And this has created another, not problem, another requirement has come. For example, there is an instrument, it's called X-ray energy spectrophotometer, which can analyze only 6 elements. The moment you are increasing more and more element, the rest of the element cannot do the X-ray energy spectrophotometer. You have to go for ICP OES, which is little more complicated. Now, 2 years back, we have added phthalate. So that also cannot do spectrophotometer. I have to go to GCMS, the gas chromatography mass spectroscopy. So as the technology is evolving across the world, the country, the government of India, what are the notification is coming, they are at par. They are also going at par, and that's the way, and more or less we are in line with FDA regulation, the Food and Drugs Administration Act. We are, and FSSAI is online on that, and that's the way we are talking. So I feel the country like the statutory body FSSAI, they are very much updated. They keep on doing and are updated as a global standard.
Right.
Because we need to have, the country is so highly populated country.
True.
We need a safe food. That's the whole idea.
Crux of the matter. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, so this was the one aspect that you just mentioned, that as the technology is evolving, the country is also evolving with its standards and regulations. So, say for example, APIDA, so it has come up with standards for exports. And according to you, a modification is required for the APIDA standards, since you mentioned an interesting fact that exports should be based on the standards of the importing countries. Yeah. So, if you can share some light on this, on how does this ecosystem work and what does your role play in this?
See, the standards which are all published by Bureau of Indian Standard, which is a national standardization organization. I am told that something like 23,900 standards have published so far. But all are not mandatory. They have made mandatory only those standards which are for safety and security.
Got it.
Not all. Why not all? Because if you make everything mandatory, because MSME segment will be affected.
Right.
Because they need a proper laboratory, product, proper equipment, investment, and so on. So government BIS is also going step by step, and slowly mandatory numbers are going up.
Right.
Like food grain standard was not there, now it's a mandatory. It's going like that. So the standards, whatever is published by Bureau of Indian Standard, these are all for the domestic consumption. Now, if someone wants to export, the BIS standard would not have. That has to be provided by the importing country. But the different country has a different standard.
Correct.
But in general, BIS all standards are harmonized with the ISO standard. Because ISO is the main body, and then all the countries are a part of the ISO committee. Only few things we find the difference, which come the labeling requirement. We did a study when I was at IIP that that was a project came from Ministry of Commerce. They're saying that in US and Canada and Europe and versus the Asian market, what is happening. When we analyze, we find that that not much difference on the requirement basis, more requirement on the labeling requirement.
Got it.
Labeling requirement, different country has got a different labeling requirement. That is one part. But there are certain standard which is common across the world, which is not for food or pharmaceutical. Pharmaceutical, of course, very clear because they have to follow, it's a regulated market, they have to follow FDA regulation.
That's true.
There is a product which is called dangerous goods.
Okay.
Dangerous goods, which is chemicals, acid, everything called a dangerous goods. That the dangerous goods export, if you want to do, nothing related to BIS. It's an export standard. So there is a standard which is done by the United Nations. It's called IMDG, International Maritime Dangerous Goods Act.
I see.
Now under that, there are about, I think I am not wrong, about 190 countries is a member. India is a part of member. And India who will follow now IMDG called International Maritime Dangerous Goods, because export can happen by sea, it can happen by air.
Correct, of course.
So if it is following by sea, you follow IMDG regulation. But if you are sending by air, then it is called ICAO, or called International Council of Aviation Organization. That's another standard. And both standard is published by United Nations. That all the expert committees is there.
And so this is common standard for all these 190.
All the countries, especially for dangerous goods, for the dangerous goods. And every country, it is controlled by the different body. For example, anything happening India, dangerous goods export by sea, the controlling is by the DG Shipping, Director General of Shipping. There's a Minister of Shipping.
Correct.
If it is going by air, the Minister of Civil Aviation. Now, they are the government policy maker, but they need an implementing body. Indian Institute of Packaging being under Commerce Ministry, Government of India, Indian Institute of Packaging was given the authority. I was very much involved when I was in the IIP, even ICAO regulation, lot of meeting, lot of study was done, your laboratory need to be updated and all. Fortunately, Government of India has invested a lot of money and IIP has got all the facility related to your transport test.
Yes.
IIP is the only laboratory where you find the transport worthiness test.
Yeah.
All the simulation is possible. So based on that, Indian Institute of Packaging has made the nodal agency, testing nodal agency. So it becomes a very mandatory requirement. If you are an exporter of dangerous goods, if it comes under the, this UN has made lakhs of chemicals and fertilizer, the different UN number, United Nations number, given something title number. You have to apply to IIP, and IIP will take the sample, they will do the test. If the test report is passed, they will issue a number that is called United Nations, a certificate called UN certificate, which is a mandatory. Until unless the UN certificate, which is printed on the carton, the customs will not allow. Customs will not allow. And I was getting a lot of call, but of course there are many issues came.
Correct.
During my time, some private association wanted to do that. But this became a government, and I was trying to protect that it should be an unbiased organization. So there was a meeting, and the Director General of Shipping, they said that some association is trying to get it. But government view was that we will allow them, but there will be an audit by IIP. So, because they felt that Indian Institute of Packaging can do that. So this is one of the standard IMDG and ICAO, which is for export standard, but not for any product, only the dangerous goods product. That can be done.
Got it.
And this keeps on updating. IMDG book, which is every I think 2 years or 3 years it is updated. And in Institute of Packaging people, the people who are involved, they need to update their knowledge, how to do the test and all. But this gives a confidence level that yes, all the package are moving from the moment it is leaving the soil of India, it will reach to the destination.
Yes.
Some people thought it's a shortcut. It's not shortcut. It's a very mandatory.
Yeah,
So
makes
there, that standard is a mandatory standard. But Bureau of Indian Standard, which is or FSSI standard, these are only in the geographical
within the
location of
domestic.
India,
Yeah.
within India.
Dr. Saha, I have a follow-up question. I mean, you've been sharing a lot of information with us over the last hour, 2 hours. And the thing is, it's volumes and volumes of things. And I'm sure this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Correct.
Because obviously within the committees, you all are confabulating, you all are having these lengthy discussions, plus the books and the notifications I've seen. If I am a MSME or an SME operation operating, in Ranchi or in, Bilaspur or something like that, how do I decode this entire thing? It is daunting, number one. And number two is also operationally, how do I proceed? Because are there 1 or 2 simple thumb rules for a small organization or a mid-sized organization which has to do it ethically, follow all the rules and regulations, and then at the same time ensure that the product that he or she is producing is, of that caliber?
Okay. Very interestingly, if you are MSME and SME, most of the industry, 90% industry, they don't have any standard.
I see.
They don't understand what is called specification. They don't understand. If they want to export, yes, EPIDA has a standard which is an agri-export. Agri-export. And EPIDA has already given a task to IIP in 2014 when I was the director. But we made the standard, or rather specification, for the corrugated box. That if you want to pack it banana, you have to have a 13 kg or 17 kg and so on. And EPIDA had a scheme that if you want to export it, you get a freight subsidy and some money, you will get the benefit, and industry was following very judiciously. But now I believe that subsidy has stopped.
Okay.
But still that standard are already there in EPIDA website. Someone can follow. But now EPIDA has realized that it's already 11 years is over, and really is it required to modify or not? So I was asked that please take a review on that. So I had a meeting with the exporter of agri-exporter based in Mumbai.
Okay.
About 20 exporter came, and when I interacted with them, it was very shocking for me. I understand that the requirement by the importing country in 2015 and today is a hell of different.
Of course.
Number one, the capacity.
Yeah.
Banana used to goes by export was the 7 kilo and 13 kilo, but now they don't want. They want 18 kilo. Okay. That is in terms of capacity. If you talk about the structure of the carton, which was a 3-ply, 5-ply, 7-ply, whatever IIP did, the study that time, Today the requirement is completely different.
I see.
I had a very basic question to all the exporter. About 25 odd exporter came to the meeting. I said that, how many are people following the standard? The answer is none. The answer is none. That's related to your question. None. They are only going one specs, which is called cost, price.
Right.
So if it is cheaper, a carton is 20 rupees, some 18 rupees, 13 rupees, the purchase man will prefer the 15 rupees price. That's the way they goes. But export, now they are worried. They are worried because it has to reach to the destination. So they don't mind to spend more money. And one common problem came from all the exporter. What I realized, they said bulging. The box are getting bulged. That means the strength is not there. Load bearing capacity is not there. So you need a structure in a paper structure in such a manner that it can take the load of stack load, which is not there. Now this knowledge, if you talk at Bilaspur or Ranchi, I am afraid no one knows. No one knows. There is a huge gap about this knowledge information to the MSME and SME. Though there are a lot of schemes people are doing in Institute of Packaging, a lot of study and all, but the country is too big, too many people. The other problem is the MSME and SME, they can't afford to set up a lab.
Yeah, true.
Because how do I do? Some people ask that what is the need for testing? I said, if you are a quality man, something called quality management system, QMS, what ISO 9000 and so on.
Right.
What is the tool? The tool is testing.
Correct.
Testing is the mechanism by which you understand where are you. For your blood test you want to check,
Correct.
or BP you want
Anything
to check.
you want to measure.
You have to measure.
Yes.
So unless you measure and you do the materials parameter, different parameter to check it, you can't do it.
Yeah.
True, true.
So your question is that how MSME and SME will reach. Today, to my understanding, I may be wrong, SME and MSME, they're just following the never. He is using this box, I also use this box. No scientific logic. I gave one of the example long back, maybe in 2001 when at the IAP. I went to have some visits to some ready-made garment industry at Jaipur.
Yeah.
Exporter, all are exporter, that belt, because it comes under Export Promotion Council, EPC.
Right.
Yeah.
So one industry I went there and they showed me the ladies' garments in packet in a corrugated box. And the box, when they put it stack, it becomes a balloon. Okay, stack. So what they do, they put another cloth and stitching it like a parcel. And I asked him, if you are making a parcel, then what is the fun of doing a box? Rather you wrap it and make a parcel.
Right.
He said, no, sir, the box should go. I said, okay. How many ply you are using? He said, I am using 9 ply. 9 ply, but the machine is been made to measure up to 7 ply. Why are you using 9 ply? He said, my neighbor is also using 9 ply. Then I went to that company. I said, you are also using 9 ply? Who asked you to do? Because this company, 3rd generation. 2 generation we have been using 9 ply. I'm also
so
using 9
therefore,
ply.
yeah.
So giving an example that's the scenario. There's a huge gap of knowledge at the grassroots level, but there is a need to make them understand what is quality, what is testing, and how really I should feel that my product has to reach to the destination, not over specs, optimal specs. Your e-commerce people are using a lot of package, it comes at home, 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, what is sustainable? We need a sustainability, but they feel that put more work so that my product should reach in a destination. But you are using unnecessary, we are taking saving of resources, but you are using more material.
True.
Yes, there is a knowledge gap, I do agree. The country is so big, but we need to work, lots of work to give the knowledge to the up to the grassroots level in terms of packaging knowledge. That's
makes sense.
So we have been mentioning Professor Dr. Shivram a lot in this last few hours. So one specific question related to him. So how has his expertise in polyolefins and circularity influenced the national regulatory framework that you are trying to help with?
As I told last time, that consortium is going to help, and what that is Shivram's idea, that polyolefin, mainly the polyethylene, which has got 150 grades, the polypropylene has got 250 grades, and if you go to recycling, different grades will mix together, the post-consumer material would come. And when they mix up, and the kind of reaction would happen, food organic, inorganic compounds, until unless there is a more detailed analytical study, chemistry,
Yeah, true.
it will be difficult. And what I think that's the driven by the consortium by NCL is trying to do that. And that would really help as a ready reckoner for the policymaker.
There were actually a couple of, again, interesting things. I remember him mentioning, this was not last year, the year prior, when he had spoken briefly that recycling is not circularity. And I remember one gasp going around in the room because he, in a way, negated almost everything everybody was going to say up till then. And then, of course, last year he followed up by what he meant, because there he just made the statement and then, of course, the whole thing. But I think two things had emerged. One was transparency, and again, what we were discussing in terms of even the previous example, Ranchi, Bilaspur, etc. And also the necessity to redesign some of the things we are doing at. So again, I think how to make this more, I know the ResPack is there, but it's, when you look at the problems India has and the challenges, whatever you've shared is too big.
Too big.
So again, how to accelerate this, how to make the process faster, that seems to be the big challenge.
No, but I believe people are not keeping quiet. They're working. One of the example could be the composite material. Like your paper-based composite material, like commonly we say Tetra Pak.
Right.
And when this standard was published, I was chairing a paper packaging committee. And some people say that it is a paper-based carton for liquid. That's a draft came to me. I rejected the draft. I said it is not a paper-based carton. It will be misleading to the consumer.
Correct.
Rather, I should say it is called paper-based multi-layer composite carton, which is true, because here you got a paper, you got a foil, you got a poly. But over the years, I believe the industry has come out on the structure where there is trying to reduce the number of layers. People are also trying to take out the foil and they're trying to put some other material. But again, you have to see the functional property, whether they can take the stack load, they can take the barrier and all these things. But the positive part is that industry is very much concerned. They're concerned.
True.
And that's the best part of the country. Every industry, every material, they are very much concerned. Maybe some people are taking that paper bottle. I was very much fascinated when I went to Guwahati for a program. I was requested to speak. And somebody said that, sir, I'm a bamboo flask. I said, very good. So on a curiosity, I bought a bamboo flask. Then I opened the cap. Inside there is a steel bottle. So I said, that means it's not a primary package. It's a secondary package. Because bamboo is a material, is a natural material, but it can't be a primary, because then you have to understand the inside layer of the bamboo, how it reacts with the food.
Correct. Ye to badmashi hai. Right.
These are all happening.
Correct.
So, and I tell you, country is so big. There are so many consumers, and many people are playing so many games and all. But if you talk on science, then of course,
just again, I don't know what the consortium is doing, and of course, I'm sure during the on 1st and 2nd of June we'll get some sense of it. But
I think Dr. Ashish Lele is the keynote speaker on 2nd June. He'll be talking about consortium because he is driving that.
His expertise. So I'm also curious to know: is there something that we can do with open source data mapping of materials? Is that a possibility? Because again, so many types of materials, so many additives, so many fillers, so many of these permutation combinations, and packaging is complex in that sense.
Very big challenge because India has got such a huge country. To my data say that we have our packaging turnover, India alone, March 2025, it is 1.05 trillion, not billion, 1.05 trillion US dollar. That is a kind of industry size, and so many industry. Maybe we have lakhs of industry, 90% are MSME segment they're doing. Now, the big industry or the FMCG or the MNC, they have been doing a lot of research, everybody is doing. But yes, today it's all in silos. Different people are working different. Some people are working about polyethylene, PEP, somebody is working PEPP. It's a different industry they are working. But motto is on that how best I can make a recyclable material they are working.
Correct.
But that mapping is a good question. I believe someone has to take a initiative that how do I map?
Yeah.
What's happening on the material science? What are the different level of research has been done so far? I think that mapping has not yet been done, but it's required. Then at least we know which level we are. But today, every industry they're doing.
Yep.
FMCG is doing a lot of work they're doing on a different structural level they're doing.
Yeah. And for a packaging engineer like me, it's truly a once in a lifetime opportunity to be talking to you and picking your brains on the science of packaging, with of course whatever little homework I have done. So so your insight about the plastic bag being merely a secondary container, so that was quite insightful. So for me to understand, what was the inception of this distinction that carry bag does not come under packaging?
You see, initially, if you ask me long back, when the carry bag did not exist in the country, the polyethylene bag, what was used for a bulk packaging as a liner bag.
Yeah.
For example, the dangerous goods export started from India maybe in 1962.
Correct.
So if you want to have a calcium carbonate or any other chemical you want to fill it, it's a very hygroscopic. So you need a liner bag which is made of high density or high molecular high density polyethylene.
Understood.
Put the material, seal it and put into a carton or put it into a plastic drum or whatever, secondary packaging. So that time that material used to use for a bulk packaging.
Correct.
Over a period of time, I believe the consumerism has come. People are looking for retail pack.
Yeah.
I know people are going not a 100 kg bag, 50 kg bag, 10 kg bag, and today it reached to sachet, which is a 4.5 gram. So much it has come.
Yep.
And accordingly, Weights and Measures sector also modifying their rules, regulation and all is going on. So as a result, I find the carry bag has come. Carry bag has come, though it has created a lot of confusion in the society and all. That the thickness level, it was 20 micron, 50 micron, now it is 120 micron. It has come, though it's not a packet, but it's a carry bag.
Yeah.
The whole idea, I believe, the thickness is increasing for the benefit or to facilitate the rack picker to pick up the waste racks. Very interestingly, in our country, though we have a civic authority and all, but most of the material which they are collecting, it is by the rack pickers.
Correct.
Millions of people, they are surviving, their livelihood is the rack picking, they are collecting. And you know, if it is a small sachet and all, it's difficult for them to bend on and collect it.
Correct.
Bigger the pouch, easy for the pickup and all, and they get a resale value. So carry bag is one of them, though it's not a packet, but it is a very, if it is a thinner, it's made environmental pollution. Many times on the roadside you are driving, you find some pouch are flying.
Correct.
Some cyclone is come flying.
Yes.
Which can be stopped, provided you get a bigger bag, provided you get the density is more, so it will not start flying.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then there is a solution, it can be done. Otherwise, initially the liner bag came with a big bag. That was the whole objective.
Yes.
But slowly it has come down to a smaller bag. Now it is a carry bag. But I'm happy that now the plastic waste management, they are increasing, their thickness has been increased, and people awareness has come. Now if you go to shopping mall, they don't give a bag, they give but with a price.
Correct. True.
And many people
Or a
have
cloth
converted,
bag or a,
and many people have converted from plastic to paper.
Yeah. True.
That's another issue. The paper don't give a poly coat inside, then it's a different. But some are coming with adhesive. That's fine. It can carry the load.
True. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, of course, the next one for you is again talking about science. So, in the age of biodegradables and compostable packaging, can we actually achieve a true hermetic seal that protects against moisture and oxygen for 180 plus days? And of course, which comes with certain limitations, as you had pointed out. But if you can share some light on this topic.
There's a lot of confusion, few terms. One is called biodegradability, something called compostability, something called oxo-biodegradability. I remember at IIP we did some study on the biodegradable material. Biodegradation, which is called degradate of the polymeric material with the help of microbes. Microbes does not help to degrade immediately. You need a particular temperature and moisture, I mean the environment condition, particular temperature it will get to degrade. So biodegradability, when I did the study, I'm talking 2015-16, For a consumer pack, when I say hermetically sealed container, they need barrier, as I said. They are processed. They need a barrier at the level of something called 0.01 milligram per meter square for 24 hours. Biodegradable material, I'm talking the study when it was done in 2015, the value was coming 10,000. So it's almost porous. Oxygen transmission rate, which we need and a higher, longer shelf life, because most of the product are prone to oxidation. For example, fried cashew nut or namkeen or bhujia, you want to learn. So you need a good barrier, means a lesser permeation of oxygen. The value was coming in thousands. cc. So that time it was that this material is very good for trash bag or hospital waste collection. And still it is going on. But over the period of time, a lot of compounds have been developed. They are adding the compounds and so on. And some has come called enzymatic biodegradation. So you can use the enzyme along with the polymeric material. Again, the degradation happen at a particular temperature condition. BIS has got a test method, biodegradability and on. My question, I can't comment on that, but I think the most difficult part, or rather we need little more study, those material, put it into the food product and see that product package compatibility in terms of all the migration, specific migration, so on. That is number one. Number two, their barrier properties, whether if I have a potato chips at a 3-month shelf life, why? Because of the logistics. End to end, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, you need a 6-month shelf life. Whether it can achieve or not. That's one has to go for study until unless you can't do that. That comes as a biodegradability. Another term, it comes called compostability. PLA, polylactic acid, is good. Here also a lot of study is required. I think few people have already started. Can I make 100% PLA based film? And to meet the requirement of all the packaging requirement what I have in flexible packaging, I need transparency, I need printability, I need high tensile strength, I need high dart impact test, I need sealability. If I meet all the requirement, this is one side. Other side, I need a low permeation of moisture, low permeation of oxygen, and also my odor barrier all of the sunlight. So this need to be studied. The compostable material is gone, then it's a very good material, because whatever you give waste, it just gets composed along with the soil. But I believe compostability will be very much applicable for the industrial composting.
Understood.
Not at our normal home composting. So they are industrial composting chamber which have a particular environmental condition. Collect all this, put it there. Then it is the future. But yes, at the same time, we can't keep quiet. I think there are a lot of biodegradable material, rather compostable material manufacturers are coming with the different compounds are coming. And if the compounds are getting composed and mixed up with the soil as a fertilizer, and it does not affect to the fertility rate of the soil for cultivation, that's a very good alternative.
Very good alternative. So when you say study, again, sorry, I'm sitting with two packaging engineers, so to speak, so I'm going to ask a non-technical question. But when you say studies, usually where does this begin from? So for example, I studied chemistry. We had, fortunately, a very, very maverick professor of chemistry, and he showed us a chessboard. And he said, this is what chemistry is. And to understand it, look at the queen, because she is the carbon. If you understand what the carbon is doing, you'll understand what the other molecules are doing.
Correct.
So the starting point for these studies is what? It's hydrocarbons? Is it bacteria? Is it...
No, I think the starting point, the degradation, what they do, the polymeric material. Polymer can be a natural polymer, it could be synthetic polymer.
Okay.
Today in the market for packaging, dominating the fossil based, which is petroleum based materials. There of course is hydrocarbon.
Correct.
But when you talk on natural based material, carbon is also there.
Correct.
Resource is different because it is a bio based material. I can have a bio based material maybe from, like bagasse is making a bio based material, so they are, but it is there everywhere, the carbon. So idea is the material what I am making, using different kind of compounds, making in a film form or whatever form I am doing, whether this can be degraded or getting composted, what condition and all. Like in the country, if you have available with a lot of composting chamber, industrial composting chamber, this could be one of the best solution for us, provided it gives me the barrier. It has to give me the barrier, then it's a very good material, no doubt, because always we are looking for alternative. One alternative, because we are looking for fossil-based alternative. One route we have chosen, that is a recycling.
Correct.
What are you doing? Trying to circularity. That's going on.
Yes.
There are some material, it does not get circulate. For example, if you take a composite material, you can make a board. And as a alternative to your what is called particle board, you can make it. But that is going a different application. So it's not a circularity, but at the same time you are diverting resource material. So it keeps on again going in a different way.
Understood.
Polymer, like bottle to bottle, what we do in PET, the same material is coming back and that's going on. But
Makes
the other
sense.
side, we need a compostable which is mixed up with the soil. So end of life is zero.
Correct.
So I think the whole work research is going on end of life. What is end of life? We have to understand.
And since we are talking packaging science, is there any unscientific trend that you see in the packaging world, probably which keeps you up at night, or something that really bothers you?
I should say unscientific, like many product. I'm giving an example. Long back, maybe 2002, I was called by an industry. He makes tires.
Makes tires. Okay.
Car tire. Tire is a very big.
Yes.
And the back size is huge. And the gentleman who invited from Indian Institute of Packaging, the matter was pending with me for 3 months. I was wondering that what I'll do after visiting the tire factory packaging. Tire, what to pack? So, but there was a lot of pressure from the company. It's a very big brand company. So I went there. It took me time to understand what is the packaging. I saw they're using the tire packaging. It's a polyester polyethylene. So polyester reverse printed, then the polyethylene, 2-layer structure with a Ziploc sealing, and put it, and the tire is displayed. Then I asked him who uses it. He said that big car like Mercedes or somebody is coming, and I just give the bag and give it to him. And that bag has also got a handle and written a big brand name. For example, Apollo or whatever, the Bridgestone.
Fiat or whatever.
So I asked him that, what is the purpose of this bag after you take out the tire? He said the customer, they take it. I said, I don't think that customer is coming. He will come and sit, somebody will fit the tire, and this bag lies with you.
Correct.
So it's a waste.
True.
Unnecessary, you are putting the cost here. Is it required? He said, no, but I need a shining bag, this, that. I said, that's fine, but why are you putting a Ziploc? Ziploc is required when I use multiple use. But this was a single use. Why do you put the handle? So I remember 2002 when I did the study, I think each bag or each pouch or bag, Ziploc bag they used to use for tire packaging, each was that time cost was about 60-65 rupees. So I said that instead of that, my suggestion was, if you really want a very luscious printing and all, go for a single polyethylene, remove the Ziploc, just seal it, single layer. That time the sustainability was not there. 2002.
Correct.
I said make a print on the top, surface printing, and then you do the lacquer printing. That's fine. If you want a glittering or slusher effect, you will get it.
Correct.
The price came down almost 1/3.
Nice.
There I feel unscientific.
But you were able to bring sustainable packaging and cost.
Yes,
in a
yes,
way.
exactly.
Good.
Yeah, and again, so this is what we are talking about. So, coming to the shelf life aspect of packaging. So, we say that we want clean labels with no preservatives, but we also want sustainable packaging with lower barriers again. So, how does a scientist like you balance the two here?
No, I think today is the era of digitization, and labeling is very much important. Because without label, you don't know what is inside the product. We need to communicate. So labeling actually it's a method of communication. To communicate to whom? Communicate to the consumer about what is inside. But if you put a label outside, again your problem is that how to remove it. That label is a substrate is different, the body is substrate different, recycling is issue.
Correct.
But I think now someone has taken an initiative. Why not you put a QR code? put the QR code, put all the information. Everybody got a mobile phone. Just you just take the QR code, scan it. You got the entire information about the product. So you are saving the resources, and you are also in compliance with the the environmental regulation. So
Got it.
digitization is one of the things what you can think of it. And this is also we considered about the smart packaging.
Yeah.
This is the smart packaging.
Yeah.
What I can do that.
That's true.
But QR code effective according to you?
Yes,
I mean,
it
again
is
in a
effective.
country
It is
like India,
effective. Question is today people are, you see, UPI, we know everybody.
Yes.
And today all UPI you are doing the scanner.
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
The scanner is very effective.
Yes.
So some people, I have seen that some bottle they are putting even the caps.
Yeah.
They are putting a QR code, removing the label.
Correct.
So all information, label information in the QR code. But here is a gap to teach to the consumer.
True.
Consumers are habituated to see the label, but you don't have a label.
Yeah.
So you will see that this is a unlabeled package. No, you have to teach to the people that there is an information on the QR code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that could be one of the
Ways to,
ways to think of it to
Accelerate
make a
this,
sustainable package.
Yep.
Yeah. So again, under when you are in BIS, one of the standards that you published was for logistics. So you have regulated the packaging for India's unique logistics environment. But I have a comparison question. Say, for example, why is it that a pack that might work in Düsseldorf might fail in a transit from, say, Mumbai to Manipur? So how are the considerations on that front?
This the standard or a specification of related to logistics would definitely not work in the developed countries by India. I had been recently to the Mizoram about 6 months back. I was there. Mizoram is a beautiful city, Aizawl. From airport to Aizawl city to reach, you need 2 hours time. The road are all terrain area to reach and all. Roads are narrow. And imagine to come back.
True.
Now from Guwahati to Aizawl, if someone wants to go by road, I was talking by the Secretary Department of Horticulture. Madam say that how to export on the road, it's not workable if I send it by air. Very expensive. Now it seems from Guwahati to Aizawl, it takes 48 hours.
Bapre.
Because of the road condition. So I think the road condition is one of the big block for us. It's one of the restriction or the limitation which you cannot do the standardization. Another peculiar thing what I find in India, there is no standard about the speed breakers.
Yes. True.
Different road, you find different height.
Correct.
Someone they put a big, someone put a small. There is no standard.
Correct.
I know CRRI, Central Road Research Institute, might be working on that, but that's my personal view. I believe that there is no standard. Now, as a result, as a packaging person, when you do a standardized package, a particular load bearing capacity, particular stack height, a particular shock and vibration, when it goes to the trunk, it's a big bump. So inside there is a fragile goods like glasswares. It might break. So on the contrary to Düsseldorf, Germany or US, wherever you find smooth road, first of all, there is no potholes.
Correct. True.
India is a different.
Yeah.
Our road condition is one of the concern we find it's the biggest thing. We need a very clean road and the infrastructure has to be made. Even in US or other places, everywhere the terrain area is there, but the terrain, they made it in a different way. So you can have smooth running. That could be a standardized package. So that's the reason you find when you do an export standard, you may ask that BIS standard and export standard. It can't be same. It can't be same. It's not different. Indian standard is making for India export standard. Ideally, it should be the same standard for both. But today it's not.
Dr. Saha, you're many things, but you're also a major food technologist, right? And one of the things we are seeing getting transported a lot is food in various sort of forms. So, as you said, fresh, cooked, processed and all of that. Again, is there something that there are parameters for transport logistics when they are handling food? One is the effort that all of you all are putting into manufacturing these packaging, products or packaging applications for these 3 grades of food. But when we see them in the truck, we find that one truck or one vehicle is being deployed for all these 3 categories. And it's in a way, again, this whole thing of programming the people who are running the logistics companies. So, yeah.
Good question. Again, there is a lack of knowledge and information. Even you go for container export, they always say bulk container.
Yeah,
the container, if the same types of products are going,
correct.
Okay, you can do a proper utilization of the space.
Yeah.
But based on the order,
multiple.
So as a result, there is no standard is applying. Talk about the logistics. Fresh, as I said, that lychee study we did a 5 degrees centigrade you have to do. If you do for process, it's a different. There is another is a cooked food, which I did recently a study for a Calcutta-based company. There the cooked food is a more complicated because the ingredients are different. The east, west, north, south, everybody ingredients are different. So the technology what I use is called MAP technique. It's a mixture of carbon dioxide and nitrogen gas. Different mixture gas depending on the veg, non-veg, different cuisine you have to do it. But there is a limitation of the 5 degrees centigrade. The discussion was whether we can supply to railway. Because Rajdhani or metro, wherever, Shatabdi, we are giving the food. But they need a master kitchen in almost every station. And maintain a 5 degree temperature. So either it's economically viable or not. So the logistics is a big challenge, no doubt, in packaging. Whenever it comes on a temperature, it's a big problem. For loading, unloading, there is another big restriction or limitation. India still not has come to the mechanized handling.
True.
We are still depending on manual handling. More the manual handling, more prone to damage. Once you have pelletized, it's a pelletized concept come, just forklift comes in, that has not come. Maybe at the loading point you have pelletization, but on the end point you don't have pelletization.
True.
So it's really a complex issue on the logistics packaging that everywhere. You say IKEA cannot be one example. They have everything on pelletized system.
True.
But not all. That's the biggest thing. I am now teaching to Indian Institute of Management, Mumbai. I teach packaging. That is a innovative packaging for logistics supply chain. These all question comes.
Correct, of course.
So I asked a question to the student. Of course, IIM is all our case study. So one of the questions I asked that in Mizoram, because I just recently visited Aizawl, passion fruit is grown in a terrain area. Now, how do I transport from Aizawl in a high altitude area to bring back to Guwahati? Not on So many people gave any answer. One of the girls, she answered very nicely. She said from the terrain where the cultivation is going on, why not do a ropeway? Build through ropeway, put it in Aizawl, and from there you transport to the airport and all. So that's the kind of answer they are giving the IIM student. And they realize, they understand that considering the limitation of the logistics, what are the different transport method I should follow? One is to follow that, not that road only. Ropeway is one of the answers.
No, it's a good answer. Clever, disruptive.
So recently I was talking to a packaging converter, and one of the requirements from his brands was that the sort of QC testing they do is, he demonstrated, and he said he was not kidding, that the brand takes the packet and throws it at the wall, and if the package breaks, then the product is rejected. So again, so he said he's not kidding. So that's one of the QC processes that the brand actually followed.
I can tell the answer why the standards are made. Bureau of Indian Standard or a ASTM standard or a ISO standard, everywhere how to drop. What is the height of the drop? All are specified.
True.
Indian people has a height, average height.
Correct.
Because it can be dropped from your shoulder.
Right.
That's the reason. Even international standard IMDG, it given a height that you can drop it from a 1.2 meter. If it is a high danger, you can go up to 1.8 meter. Low danger, it go to 0.8 meter. So 1.8, 1.2 and 8.8. So that means 1.8 meter is the maximum height I can drop. That is number one. Number two, how many types of drop? That's all specified.
Yes.
But again, unscientific packaging. You see, Lots of the QC people, they do not know. I am telling, in the beginning of my career, one of the company I visited, it was a shoe factory, and he asked me, there was a lot of, tussle was going on because the corrugated box manufacturer versus he.
Correct.
He was not making the payment. He said, your box is broken.
Okay.
Okay. So then he said, okay, let's call a expert. I went there and then I was analyzing that what is the problem. Then I said, how do you say the box is broken? He said, sir, I have dropped it and it is broken. I said, where from you dropped? He said, I dropped it from 3rd floor. And I said, suppose I push you from there, what would happen? What you're telling, I'll be fractured. Sir, exactly the same thing has happened. So don't follow your own method.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's the standards.
Right.
Follow the standards, and all the experts are sitting in the standard. The formulation of standards are making based on the country's condition, based on the practical approach, and based on the test values. So what do you give an example? He's putting on the wall. That's his own hypothetical
Right.
method. It does not apply in anywhere.
Yeah.
Correct.
So any test should be followed as per either national standard or international standards. I always say, even my students or any industry, when I do the advisory role, I tell them, don't follow your own method.
Correct.
Please follow standard method.
Yeah.
Give a reference that I followed either national or international, and that's the way you do a proper method. Otherwise, no.
Got it.
True. True.
One final question for you, Dr. Saha. So 82 standards, and of course a career which has been, shining and glorious in terms of, your global leadership. But what is one packaging myth you're still trying to, debunk, or you say that this is complete rubbish, and we unfortunately think that is the way things are done?
I feel over packaging. This is one of the area. It's not there, number one. There is no standard today, something called ready reckoner.
Yeah. True.
That kind of standard is not there. For example, I have card, dahi or a Shrikant. I have a different packaging format. I can have a thermoform container. I can have a, pitcher or this, what is that called? That mitti ka jo bana hua hai, kola. I can have a cola. I can have a glass pot. Different format I have, and I have a shelf life, particular shelf life. I need the temperature and all. So there is no standardized format or standardized specification product to packaging. No, that's one area I think is not available. That's one, as you said, the debunk. That's one area. The other area is over packaging. That's very much applicable to the e-commerce industry.
True.
Because though there are a lot of our IAPNs are working there, they have been trying to have a optimum packaging. But we always say, as a packaging technologist, if you want to protect or prevent the damage, you keep on adding. That means you are not sustainable.
True.
It should not be. If someone is to come, and even now many people they discuss, sir, I have no practical problem in packaging. Why? He said, because whatever I am sending, everything is reaching in timely and destination without zero damage. So according to you, am I right? I said no. He said, why? I said, you are using no damage. That means you are using over packaging. Cost is going up. So you should always have an optimum specification of package. That's very much important. But optimum specification, again, the standard organization like BIS cannot make, but BIS can give a guideline about this product, what are the standards should have. Of course, many standards have already come, but I think this is one of the area, is a gray area. It will leave it to the different industry they are working on there. So that's the reason there are 3 different kind of standards or specification. One is called international standard, one is called a national standard, one is called a buyer specification. Individual company, they have their own standard.
Correct.
I remember at IIP, when you were doing the vibration test, there is a vibration table simulation to the truckload.
Correct.
ASTM standard is given that if you vibrate it at a RPM, okay, 1 each amplitude, and if you just vibrate it 1 each amplitude, if you do a 120 cycles per minute for 1 hour, that relates to, in Indian road condition, something like 5,000 kilometers.
Not bad.
That's the standard which has been evolved, and IIP has been doing the test.
Correct.
But there was a company, the refrigerator manufacturer.
Yeah.
They came and they told that, I don't believe this standard. I have my own standard.
Okay.
RPM need to be more, amplitude not 1 inch, I'll do the 4-inch amplitude. The 4-inch amplitude means duck, it's a lot of sound would come. I said, why do you want it? He said, not 120 hours. Okay, not 1 hour. He says, I'll do it for longer duration, for 2 hours, 3 hours. Because in India, your road condition is bad. Your speed breaker is no standardized.
Correct.
Yeah.
You got my point. So that's the reason you find that the clear it will not come until unless we got a proper road condition, proper infrastructure. Nothing can be standardized. But the idea is whatever you make the specs, buyer specification, not international or national standard. You have your company standard. Follow the guideline of a national standard and you make your own standard of packaging. But that need to be optimum specs. Don't put more money.
True.
No damage means there is a chance for work.
Correct.
Work.
Yeah. And one sort of, I know I had said final question, but one really final question, I mean, and this is something we hear across the industry, whichever vertical, new talent, that they prefer to go to IT, they prefer to go to aeronautics, all these sort of sexy industries. Packaging is the world's third largest industry, and yet, for some reason, it's not yet perceived to be, the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So how do we create more people like Abhais, and how do we get more Abhais in our industry?
No, but I think we need more institutes like Indian Institute of Packaging. During my time, we opened about 9 branches. SIS has come. And very interestingly, the subject has been accepted. For example, IIM Mumbai is the first IIM has introduced packaging on a logistic supply chain. People have realized that yes, for a supply chain, packaging is a good component.
True.
And many people, I was talking yesterday, one gentleman, he's coming for the conference. He is an IIM chap.
Nice.
He's working in Danone, India. He's one of the panelists. Then he was talking to me. He said, sir, you are an IIM faculty. I'm very happy. I said, yes, I was in IIP, now I'm in IIM faculty. So I said, we need more talent if you want to go. We need a more packaging education needs to be more upgraded, and also consider the course curriculum as per the industry requirement. What industry is looking for, not today, 5 years ahead. Not to copy. For example, some people say AI. I personally feel, I was asking this question, do I need AI for packaging? Question comes. Because AI is a technology which is, whatever I'm feeding the data, he will talk.
Correct.
He will talk. Okay.
True.
Do that. So we need, yes, if the AI is implemented for higher productivity, my printing line is faster with the programming, already we are doing that.
Correct.
Then it's fine. So not that simply I introduce some subject, but which is not there until there is a well-proven story, a proven track record, we cannot do it. But yes, on the subject on packaging, we need to have a more depth on material science.
True.
Material science, it should be, of course, IIP syllabus is more on material science, 50%, then engineering and basic things. Yes, this need to be more and more depth, and more number of students should teach. The time is coming, there will be huge demand of packaging professional.
Yes, true.
Huge demand of packaging professional, and that's the way a country will reach to a condition. Otherwise, of course, there will be this knowledge gap, unscientific, it will keep on going.
Right. And I know 1st and 2nd of June is where your attention, your energy is focused on, but any other crazy projects which you're doing, things like discovering how pan should be, is there anything else that you want to share with us?
No, I think now EPIDA is asking me to think about other product which are very product which have never been exported. For example, a fruit called kiwi.
Right.
Which our kiwi is very good quality as compared to New Zealand kiwi.
Of course.
But I have never tested, never done the lab study that what is the QE formation coming.
Nice.
They are also discussing with me that 2014 when the standard was made, the specs was made. As I said that now no one is following.
Right.
Because the demand from the importing countries are different. Because importing country, the demand is different, the requirement is different. So they said you study it and maybe you revise that standard and all. So these things I'm keeping on doing, but I think more on the consortium there also I'm doing the product base also. And being a packaging man, of course, 360-degree angle, there are so many things are coming and I keep on tapping the new things. I like to always do on that subject, which I believe challenging.
True.
If it is a challenging task, it gives me more inspiration to work and go into the depth and see that how do I solve the problem. That's the way I'm working.
Super. Great. So that was Dr. NC Saha. Thank you so much for doing this masterclass. I hope thousands and thousands of packaging professionals and non-packaging professionals watch this masterclass. You can catch him at the Hotel Lalit in Mumbai, very close to the T2 airport on 1st and 2nd of June. And this is a full day conference which they host, and he and his team. And in addition to Dr. Saha, you will have a whole host of polymer scientists, regulatory authorities from the government of India, plus of course packaging brands. So do that, and in addition, please spread the message about this particular masterclass, because I think not just our industry, but even people from other industries will benefit.
Yes.
So thank you, and over and out.